As we continue our journey through Luke today, we're about to hear an account of another miracle, another healing. And I want to take 1 second and just appreciate that the thing about the Bible is it doesn't only tell us what happened, it tells us all the circumstances and the nuances around that so that we might be able to use that to apply things to our own life. And I think as we go through this next healing over the next couple weeks here, we're going to see that it's different than the one we just talked about. And there's things that we can take out of this and apply to our life just to help us today. So this week we're going to be living in verses 17, 18, 19 of Luke chapter 5. And the heading of my Bible is Jesus heals a paralyzed man. And just setting the tone here, what's going on is this group of Pharisees has come, obviously, like Jason talked about last week, hearing what Jesus is doing. It's drawing so many people's interest that there's crowds starting to form and come around. And the Pharisees, the religious leaders of the time, obviously are going to be checking this out. And so they came, not only them, but as we heard before, the people who are seeking healing in their life also come to see Jesus. So that kind of sets the scene for this. And this week, we're going to be talking specifically about obstructions or barriers to Jesus in our modern life here. And you might say the group of Pharisees gathering outside was one barrier between people in that community and Jesus. Because like I said, they're being the religious leaders of the day, they obviously had feelings and things to say about Jesus, and just being associated or being near Jesus or seeking him for healing, help, whatever, kind of went against what they were teaching. So there was that boundary of culture that, hey, you're being associated with that guy makes you maybe not our friend, or we're not liking that, so we're gonna come down on you. And people would have feared that, right? You fear the establishment, you might say, in a nutshell. And that's one thing going on here. The other thing is this friend group has a guy who they know needs to meet Jesus. How many people can relate to that? We've all got friends that we're in relationship with. And I believe we're in relationship with people for a reason. And as Christians, we should represent Christ to our friend group, and knowing that there's people there who need to meet with Jesus. And this particular guy couldn't get into this place because it was so crowded. And his friends thought it was important enough that he go meet Jesus, that they somehow hatched this harebrained scheme of going up on the roof, tearing a hole in it, and lowering the man down in it. And in one translation I'm reading, it says his mat, but on another one it says his bed. So think about that. They're going up on the roof, tearing a hole in it, and lowering his entire bed down so that he might just have the chance of being in the presence of Jesus. Think about that. I mean, even today, if Jesus was in a building, would you think enough of your friend and the importance to meet Jesus to do something crazy like that, tear a hole in a roof, rip up the shingles, all that, lower him down? I mean, they worked hard at getting this done to get him to Jesus. But the thing I want to also point out is that's really all they did. Jesus did the rest. They put this person in the presence of Jesus, and Jesus did the heavy lifting. He healed him. He's the one that affected that person's life. So, talking through it today, that's another thing that, we need to come alongside people and just encourage them, man, give them hope, and just the fact that there is a relationship available to them through Christ, but maybe be a little more pressing, be a little more urgent on it. I think a lot of times we just just let it go, and whatever. But realize the importance of that relationship with Jesus and the way it changes your life, man. That's your testimony, right? This is what Jesus did for me. Come meet him and he's going to do things for you. So I just want to excite you and encourage you about that to, man, just keep pushing and maybe come up with some off the wall ideas that might just introduce people to Jesus. Get people in Jesus' presence so that he might do the heavy lifting and change their lives as only he can. That's about what I got for you today. It's the middle of January, and we're looking forward to a test here at the end of the month, and the season not too far behind after that. So we just hope you're having a great winter, and we will catch you next week again on Wednesday Wisdom.